thing happened. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the algorithm tonight, and I'm going to make a few takes. This is going to be awesome.
The algorithm. In a city full of chips, processors, conductors, wireless signal, and fiber optic connections, the algorithm is God. Algo knows. Algo knows all and reigns supreme. It can be as overwhelming as trying to understand God and religion to try to wrap your mind around the algorithm. Even if you don't look at the algorithm as some all-powerful entity, if you've ever wanted to try to create content on your own on a serious level, you've at least considered how to please the algorithm. And if you keep thinking about it this way, you're going to stay stuck in the matrix. So how can I avoid this disconnect? Isn't this about making connections? Don't we want to reach as many people as possible with our awesome and amazing video that we just spent 10 to 30 hours or longer working on? Of course we do. Except, we actually don't want as many people as possible to watch. Think about it. Do you actually want to be friends with everyone you meet throughout the day or week? I think not.
So, who do we want to watch our content? The right people. Think about social media like
a coffee shop, a social environment. Why do people meet up at coffee shops? Because it's a safe environment to get to know someone and make new friends. Lots of productive and creative people frequent these places. Now think about the types of coffee shops out there. You have the big chains that have mass appeal, and they have their logo and all the cool bells and whistles, and the vibe looks cool, but they lack the heart and character that creative people need to thrive. And then you have the place that's on Main Street, and the counter's an old wooden beautiful counter, and it's got the lower lights, and everything is wooden, and the smell is infused into the floors and the walls and the furniture. It just smells like home. That's the place I'm trying to describe. Social media has to be like that if you want to be as impactful as your favorite influencer, actor, comedian, or public figure. You have to make a meaningful connection in order to have anyone to care about your channel. How do we do that? Get on YouTube and be social. Don't expect overnight success. It comes from hours of hard work. Anybody who's ever been successful says that it takes about 3 to 5 years to actually see any fruits from your labors. So if you start to see it before that, that's great. But if it takes a while, don't give up, because it is a waiting game. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll get good enough and people will come to you. People will want what you have to offer, whether that be your content, whether that be the way that you're presenting yourself, that you're entertaining, or you're teaching and you're educating people, or maybe you have a product to sell.
But how does this relate to the algorithm? Well,
the algorithm is really just a big AI computer brain that recognizes patterns, and it puts the right video in front of the right person all day. But if there isn't something appealing about that video in the first 5 seconds, they won't stay long enough to watch. This can get frustrating, but it's a time game and a numbers game. If you stay around long enough and try to make your content appealing every time you post, you will start to see views, likes, and subscribers to come. Eventually, you will have built enough credibility that you'll see a pattern of consistent growth.
Well, how do you get to that point? Make content consistently and make it good quality. Make it at least one good quality video a week. If you can do more, then do more. But don't sacrifice quality for quantity. It's not going to get you anywhere in the long run. Because if you don't have good quality content built up into a library that people can watch later, they're not going to come and listen to your podcast all the way through, because they're going to say, this person's not reliable and I'm not going to trust them. They won't stick around to listen to you. It's better if you can have a library of consistently well-made content categorized into different sections on your channel so that when someone does discover you and they really like what you have to offer, they can come back to that and listen to episode 1 all the way now and get a really enjoyable, consistent experience. Work on quality over quantity. Now start to work on your editing skills. Some people are able to make a raw video and it just takes off, but that's not happening for everybody. You won't see success that way usually. When I say edit, I don't mean to make it fake. Just be artistic with your angles and use your camera wisely. You can edit the colors so that they look more rich and pop. Be authentic if you're making a video about your life or serious topics. If you're creating fiction, you have a little more freedom. But anytime you're portraying yourself, make sure that you're being the real you. You are interesting, and there is a group of people out there for you to connect with. Now, are you ready for the key to the algorithm? Be social. That is it. You are making videos for potential friends. If you're not making art and education for people who you would be friends with, then you won't be ahead. And if you do get lucky and you do take off with disingenuous content, it will be shallow and you won't have much of a connection with your audience. And I think that's where a lot of one-hit wonders come from. But there you have it. Be social and make content that you care about.